Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. Start off with 144,000, which would be the ruling governing body in the kingdom of heaven, which would be all men, 144,000. Also to a lot of the elect here in America, a large multitude of believers. A lot of 1/3, which would be men, women, and children, they'll be saved. 2/3 of all people will be destroyed here in America and Babylon the Great, right? We have the rebels that are scattered abroad in different countries, they'll be destroyed. And you have the elect that's scattered abroad, they'll be saved. Of you 12 tribes of who the world willingly and ignorantly calls so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitian, Guatemala, Panamanians, Cubans, right? We are the Israelites, contrary to what the world wants to believe, right? I'm your brother Yeremia. Can make at you with a quick lesson. It's gonna be like an in the news lesson. As y'all can see on the screen, I have a video of this Jake, black man, because he's black, right? Who stabbed a Ukrainian woman, right? This is why you gotta be circumspect, man. Because you never know what's gonna happen, right? At any time, and we don't walk around in fear. Of course, let me get Ephesians 5 and verse 15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly," right? You pay attention to everything. You being aware of your surroundings, not as fools but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Right? Times are speeding up. Right? We don't have a lot of time left to be here in Babylon the Great. Hey, the Lord is making things happen, man. That's why we got to seek YASHAMIAHLA as much as we can. That's why we do our lessons, right? We go out to the camp until we can't no more. Because them days are coming to an end. We ain't going to be able to do that pretty soon. Pretty soon, hey, that's going to be a normal thing that you see outside the door everywhere. Everybody's going to see that. The shit that nigga did on the train, that's going to be everywhere in front of people, right? But that's because of that we're living in evil days, right? Hey, Jacob's trouble is getting ready to pop off fully, right? The great tribulation. Verse 17, it says, "Wherefore be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is." And right, the will of the Lord is to destroy Babylon, America the Great, right? That's the will of the Lord. To bring this man's kingdom down, Esau, Edom, the wicked, right? So that's why these things are ramping up. We in the last days. Verse 18, it says, "And be not drunk with wine," right? That's physically and spiritually, right? Don't be out here drunk, right? Just out here doing anything willy-nilly, or, looking back into these in the world and dabbling in other philosophies. We gotta enter into the straight game, man, right? We understand we're in the curses, but hey, we gotta keep looking forward. Stay following our Lord Yahweh Shai. This is the only truth, right? It says we're in this excess, but be filled with the Spirit. We gotta constantly, go against our flesh, right? Fight urges, temptations, right? And there's a will, because our Lord Yahweh Shai did it, and He gave us the Spirit to do it, right? So we gotta constantly have our mind upon the ordinances of the Lord, right? But what this Jake did, it was wicked, right? And it was off. We don't condone that, going out here and taking people out. That's not what that's not what we do, So this nigga has nothing to do with us being Israelites, because that's not what we're supposed to be doing, right? Whatever happens to him, hey, Trump was talking about him getting that death penalty. Hey, we all for what Trump's doing. Him bringing these troops to Chicago and D.C. and all these other cities. Hey, come on with it. We want him to do it, right? And don't think, they saying that crime is happening and this and that, but really it's more than that, right? This man has lost control of his rulership, right? He don't have that light like he once did. You got so many videos, so much information being brought out on what this man has done and what he is doing, even his own people. So You know, I was thinking this might be staged, man. You know, because like I said, this might be another reason why they could say that you need the troops, you need the military in neighborhoods. But it's all part of prophecy, right? You can see him on the video, and to me, I'm speaking to this man, look like he's thinking about what he's getting ready to do. So, you know, because Jake don't usually do shit like this, but hey, the Lord can put a spirit on anybody, right? Whether it was a false flag or whether it wasn't. It's a false flag, psyops, staged events. They still real deaths do happen, right? Real tragedies do occur, right? And that woman didn't do nothing to that nigga, man. You know, so we all for what Trump's going to do to you YNs, gangsters, and thugs. You know, Jake wicked as hell, man. But you know, like I said, we know that this man, he's on his last leg, so we gotta Matthew 10:16 every day. It says, "Behold." These words are read. Our Lord Yahweh said this: "Behold, I send you forth as sheep." Right? Sheep are docile, calm, mild-mannered animals. Right? In the midst of wolves. What? Right? Which wolves are territorial. They're very aggressive. That's how these people are, especially against this truth. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. That's how we gotta move out here. We can't be out here causing strife, causing attention, getting attention to ourselves, you know. But that's what these niggas in the world gonna do, and these other false Israelite camps that's out here teaching it's not preaching 100% truth. They do stupid shit, and I'm not saying they did nothing like that, but you know, we gotta move out here with our head on straight, man. You know, we got to be occupying prophecies. Pay attention to the news. We know there's a lot of bullshit, but this devil is on his last leg, so he's gonna come with everything he got to blame us, to make it look like we the bad guys, to make it seem like, you know, that's why they call us the black Hebrew Israelites. Don't be surprised if they put us into something. Revelation 12 verse 12 says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens," right? The prophets, right? And ye that dwell in them, and woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And that's just man, Esau, Edom, right? The people that's ruling, right? The people that look like the president, right? They're ruling, and they on their last leg, right? Like I said, they make it seem that I did a video last week where this, you know, appeared to be my boy. He literally brought out on the video, you know, the stats of who does the most crime, and it wasn't us. It was who you call so-called white people, right? You know, they say that we're the minorities. There's not that many of us, but we're committing most of the crimes. Make it make sense, right? So, you know, it goes into him losing control, him losing, you know, that power that he once had, that light, right? And he don't got it no more. It's taken from him. Matter of fact, let me get that in the book of Jeremiah real quick, right? Jeremiah 49 and verse 7 says, "Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?" And yes, it is. Right? Everything that they do to try to go against us, it don't work. Right? The majority of them. But when they start blaming us, it is going to work. Because most people, they hate us anyway. Most of our people hate us. Let me get verse 10. It says, "But I have made Esau a bear. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." And that's going to eventually be this man soon. He ain't going to exist in the kingdom of heaven after 1,000 years, after he serves his captivity. You know, when our Lord Yahweh returns to this place, and this place is getting hit with missiles, and World War III's popping off, and we getting rulership, he ain't going to be existing soon. Right? And he's being made bare. You got so many videos on TikTok of people just calling this man out, man. So we see why this man wants to ban TikTok, why they want to take us off the internet. His own people are exposing him. There's nothing he can do about that. It's already out, right? And you know, you got this Charlie Kirk dude. This I think he's an Edomite, right? Let me see. He died today. People are in the uproar. They sad over him and all that. Which, you know, I seen his videos. I meant to do a video on him before today, but I just haven't got around to it. But you know, I seen a video before I did this video of him saying that America is the most least racist country that exists. Right? He makes a lot of points that people don't agree with, and he's really, you know, he got the Edomite spirit, just really sly, sneaky with his words and how he responds to you when he talks to you. Right? Trying to control and own the conversation when he's talking. Just very Edomitish. You know? But like I said, them coming after Jake, you know, in these big cities, they could, you know, they could be using this, like I said, as another signal to start that chaos, man. Because you got this damn Edomite that got taken out. Things happen today, and then you got that lady on the train. Jake then took her out, and they trying to get at Jake, right? This devil know that he's on his last leg, man. He knows this. Look at this post, right? Elon Musk agreed with this. It says white people have a simple choice to make: be conquered, enslaved, raped, and genocided while being called racist, and reclaim our nation and our identities while being called racist. And first of all, ain't nobody raping you. You the one doing all of that you just said and has been doing it. So the devil, he just mad. He just mad that he's being called out for his bullshit. And, you know, that light is on him. You know, that's all it is. And the roles are slowly reversing and switching. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. His wickedness, his secrets that he's been hiding about who he is and what he's been doing. All that's being exposed. Right? The cup of the Lord's right hand should be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing should be on thy glory. And that's why he's, you know, staging these false flags, these certain events, and shift changing the narrative. Right? Because really, his glory is shamed upon. There's nothing to really be glorifying about. Right? You're at the end of your kingdom, and it's time for you to go down. It's just that simple. Right? Let me get this in 2nd Esdras 6 and verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So this man is Esau, man. It's not the Arabs. It ain't nobody else. It's this man. Right? It's this man that looks like him. These are the Edomites. Right? So there's nothing they can do to stop what they're gonna do, and it's really the Lord's will. YASHAMIAHLA is controlling what they doing, right? Jacob's trouble's gotta happen, and let it happen. You know, we gotta go through it to get to it. This is Jeremiah 37, and I'll end off on this because that's what this is all leading to. It says, at last, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it, and that he is the elect. So no matter what Esau do, YASHAMIAHLA is controlling all of it. You know, so I'm going to close out. I hope this video was edifying to the Lord's elect. And keep the faith, keep the wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Hey, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, BaHashem Yahushai, BaHashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Till next time, I will say,